Draw your right foot up and we will massage from toes to heel. Foot massage has kind of been a lifeline lately, a very grounding, stabilizing force in my life, so you get the benefit of that as well. You get to massage from toes to heel, sides of the foot, top of the foot. Keep your foot relaxed as hands are up at the toes and rock the front of the foot side to side using the hands. The foot is passive. And that's going to make some space in the joints, so now you can interlace your fingers with your toes. And try to bring the web of your fingers to the web of your toes as you circle. And you can circle the other way as well. And then we'll give a little twist from side to side. And you may spread your fingers nice and wide apart. Release your hand from your foot, and we'll do a circle and a pull on each individual toe. Awakening each individual toe, and then you can draw them in toward your body. That way the front of the ankle gets a stretch. Press your toes away to stretch through the sole of the foot, and then we'll clap hands with your foot. Double time along the sole of your foot. And then compassionately pound it out as well. And we'll give that foot a shake. Then you can hold your leg wherever you can reach, under the thigh or maybe at the foot, and just rock from side to center a few times, opening in the hip as well. And then stretch your leg and just notice the effects of your massage so far. And then same thing on side two, draw your left foot up. And you want to bring this sense of touch to the whole sole of your foot. Sides of the foot, top of the foot. Giving some love to your foot for all that it does for you every day. And then make your way up to your toes. You can keep the foot passive, but rock your toes from side to side. And after a few times like so, you may interlace your fingers with your toes and we'll circle the ankle. And circle the other way. And then we give a little twist from side to side. And then you can spread your fingers nice and wide, that way the toes will open too. And release your hand from your foot. Do a circle and a pull, each individual toe. And once you've gotten all 5 toes, draw them in towards your body so you stretch through the front of the ankle. Press them away to stretch through the sole of the foot. And then clap hands with your foot. Double time along the sole of the foot. And again, just compassionately pound it out a bit. All right, well, lift the leg, give your foot a shake. And then hold your leg where it works for you. Other hand can just support your torso as you rock from side to center. And after a few times, stretch your leg and just notice now the difference in the legs compared to earlier before the foot massage. Maybe a little more color, maybe a little more warmth. And then we'll take a comfortable seat. You're welcome to cross your legs. But if there's another seat that's more comfortable for you, by all means do so. Have the sitting bones lifted and feet are gently flexed. Then you can just rest your hands in your lap. close your eyes and connect to the natural flow of your breathing. So today we'll celebrate the springtime by making space in the body. One of the first principles that I ever learned in yoga was that of opening to grace, opening to what is right here in this moment. And so we can do so when we center, as eyes close, awareness turns inward, and we connect to the natural expansion of the inhale, the release of the exhale. We become aware of that life-giving force that pulsates within us and all around us. That life-giving force that comes directly from the sun. The sun is like the ultimate source of prana, of vital energy. And so we want to invite that into our bodies through the breath, just as it is all around us in the springtime, as the plants are growing and the flowers are blooming and the birds begin to sing. Let your awareness follow the wave-like action of your breath and notice the gentle expansion of the inhale. And with your exhale, tightness dissolves. Any holding or gripping in the body, the exhale is the opportunity to let that go. We'll do a brief pranayama practice as well, a breathing practice. We'll visualize the alternate nostril breath. So as you continue with your natural breath now, just imagine an internal dividing line from your nose down to your tailbone, and bring your awareness into the left side of your body. Invite the breath into the left nostril, and the whole left side of your body. So you're still breathing through both nostrils, but imagine that you're breathing just through the left nostril, filling the left side of the body with vital energy, with prana. And after a few times like so, then switch sides. Open up the right side of the body. Imagine that you're breathing just into the right nostril, filling the right side of the body with vital energy. We're just imagining. Now with your next inhale, as the right side of the body fills with breath, then switch sides. Exhale through the left. And then we'll inhale through the left, switch at the top of the inhale, and exhale through the right. And keep going. Inhaling on that side, switching at the top of the inhale, and then exhaling on the left. And continue with your breath, alternating at the end of each inhale. So alternate sides of the body, alternate nostril, breathing that we're just visualizing, we're just imagining. Continue with your sequence until the next time you exhale through the left side of your body, and then release the technique, release the visualization, and return to your own natural breath. As the days are getting longer, we have a little bit more energy. The vital life force flows a little more fully, and just notice how the breath practice supports that too. And then we'll bring palms together, hands at your heart center. We'll begin with the sound of Om 3 times. We'll do it together. You can exhale to prepare, and then take a full breath in. Om. Release your hands by your sides. Keep your gaze soft as you open your eyes. Now we're going to switch the cross of the legs. So let your other shin be in front. And then place your hands on your knees, on your kneecaps. So we're going to do a seated cat and cow tilt. With your inhale, lengthen through your spine. With your exhale, round the back body back. Draw chin into chest and make space in the back body. With your next inhale, more like the cow tilt. So belly forward, chest up, gaze up, and back and forth. Exhale for the cat tilt, rounding back. Inhale for the cow tilt, arching forward. And go at your own pace of breath, back and forth a few times. Awakening the whole spine from tailbone to crown. Just bringing movement to as many parts of the spine and the torso as possible. From the hips all the way to the top of the head. And with your next inhale, we'll rise back up to a neutral spine, and you can remain there. Hands by your sides then, and we'll rotate the upper arm bones out so the palms face outward. That way shoulder blades are on the back. Keep shoulder blades on the back as you inhale, arms up, and now side stretch. Exhale, release just the left arm, walk it out to the left. Let the right side body be nice and long. Press the right sitting bone into the earth so that the right side body can be a little more open. And at the same time, let the right side of the neck be long and soft. So shoulder blades draw down your back to keep the neck and the throat area free and open. One more full inhale into the right side of the body and exhale as well, just as fully. And then with the next breath in, we'll come back up to center and same thing, side two. Exhale the right arm down. Walk the right arm out to the right. Now notice if your hips want to shift. Sometimes the one hip will want to lift a little, so resist that. Press the left hip down into the earth, and that way we'll get even more space through the left side body. We'll open to a greater experience that way. Keep the sides of the neck long and soft too, so shoulder blades draw down the back. And one more big breath into the left side of the body. Exhale just as fully. Then inhale back up to center. You can turn the palms out and exhale, gently press the air down around you. Good. Hands by your sides. We'll stretch the legs so you can shake them out. Take the heels a little wider and flap the toes in and out a bit. And then let's come to a reclined position now. You get to scoot your hips forward and lie on your back. So we'll start here with the legs, we'll actually have the legs straight and arms by your sides. So it's a reclined mountain pose. It is not Shavasana yet. You're in a reclined mountain pose. So let the legs be in a neutral position, just like they would be if you were standing. So the feet are gently flexed, the second toes point straight up in the air. And with your arms right by your sides, rotate the arm bones so palms face up. That way shoulder blades are on your back a little bit more. Okay, so with an inhale, you're going to float your arms up over your head to the ground above you. And as you exhale, bring your right leg in, wrap your arms around your right shin and give it a squeeze. So half Apanasana with your arms around the shin. Create resistance. Press your leg into your arm. Now, if it's more comfortable to hold your thigh, you can certainly hold your thigh. All right? But there's resistance between arms and leg, and let your shoulders and head be relaxed. Now, for a brief moment, hold the right leg with the right arm only, and then imagine your right leg and your left arm are like book covers, and you're going to open right leg to the right and left arm to the left. So a little more opening in the hip. And then we'll come back to center. And then stretch the leg along the ground and reach your arms along the ground over your head. So you can inhale here. And when you exhale, side two, draw the left leg in, give it a squeeze. Again, hold the shin if you can, or if it's more comfortable to hold the thigh, hold the thigh. But create a little resistance. And meanwhile, the other leg can be straight along the ground. Let the other thigh, in this case it'll be the right thigh bone, let it be heavy against the earth as you hold this resistance. Then we're going to open the book covers again. So left leg to the left, right arm to the right. Pause a moment just for the hip opening nature of this. And then we'll come back to center. And then stretch the left leg straight along the ground, arms overhead. Inhale. And as you exhale, we'll go back to the right side. Draw the right leg in and we'll do the same thing. On an inhale, you can open the book covers. So right leg to the right, left arm to the left. With an exhale, bring the right leg back to center. Now we're going to straighten the leg and have your hands hold the thigh. Press the thigh bone into the hands. Shoulders and head still relaxed here. Inhale fully. And when you exhale, release your leg and you can bring your arms down by your sides. So we'll do all of that on side two. Inhale your arms over your head. As you exhale, draw your left leg in, give it a squeeze. We'll pause for a moment. On an inhale, open the book covers. So left leg to the left, right arm to the right. Keep breathing. And then we'll close the book. So left leg comes back to center. Make the left leg straight and hold behind the thigh. Press the thigh bone into the hands so we get a little more stretch in the hamstrings. And really, you're just holding the thigh wherever you can and making that lifted leg as straight as possible. Inhale here now, and then with your exhale, release the leg and bring your arms by your sides. So we'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, arms overhead. And as you exhale, draw your right leg in. With the very next inhale, open the book covers. And then as you exhale, come back to center, make the leg straight, hold the thigh. We'll pause for one more breath. Then with an inhale, we'll stay lifted, and on your exhale, release the leg down to the earth. Okay, same thing, side two. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, draw the left leg in. Give it a squeeze, and there's a little resistance. With an inhale, open the book covers. With an exhale, close the book covers. Make your left leg straight and hold the thigh in any way possible for you. We'll hold for one more breath. And then with an exhale, we'll release the leg all the way down. So one more time for both sides. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, draw your right leg in. Inhale, open the book covers. Exhale, close the book covers. Make the right leg straight up in the air. Hold for one full breath. And then with the next exhale, release the leg, release the arms by your sides. Inhale, both arms overhead. Exhale, left leg draws in. Inhale, open the book covers. Exhale, close the book covers. Make the left leg as straight as possible. One full breath here. And then with the next exhale, release the left leg down to the earth, arms by your sides. All right, we are going to inhale, arms overhead again. And this time as you exhale, draw both legs in. Wrap your arms around both shins. Create a little resistance. Press both legs into the arms. And I say shins, but it could be thighs. If it's more comfortable to hold the thighs, that's fine. But create enough resistance so that you have a little curve in the lower back. And we've got both legs into the chest at this point. Now, as long as there's no strain in your neck or, shoulder area, you could lift your nose toward your knees. And then for a little more challenge, just reach the arms out in the same direction as your feet. So engaging the core a little more, but at the same time trying to keep a curve in the lower back. They're kind of opposite actions at this point, but maintain them both as much as possible. And then we'll release everything. You can release legs back to the earth, torso back to the earth. All right, we'll bend both legs. bring your arms to a cactus position out to your sides. We're about to do a reclined spinal twist, and we'll flow a little bit with the breath for it. If you want a little more support for your lower back today, a block or folded blanket or a pillow, something that you can place at the upper inner thighs will help stabilize your lower back if it needs it. Okay, so arms in cactus, shoulder blades on your back. Squeeze your block or your prop or your imaginary prop, and then lift the legs into a stair-step position. So we're going to flow with the breath here as well. Keep the feet flexed. Inhale, and when you exhale, take both legs to your right about a quarter of the way. Just a quarter of the way, it doesn't have to be too far. Inhale back up to center, and exhale both legs to the left about a quarter of the way. So there's no hurry, go at your pace of breath. Inhale, center, exhale both legs to the right, they might go halfway. Inhale, center, exhale legs to the left, and again they might go halfway this time. Inhale, center, we'll do that one again. Exhale, legs to the right about halfway. Both shoulder blades remain on the earth. Inhale, center, and exhale both legs to the left about halfway. Inhale, center, let's do 2 more times on each side. Exhale to the right about halfway. Inhale, center, and then exhale to the left about halfway. Inhale, center, and then last time each side. Exhale to the right about halfway. Inhale, center, exhale to the left about halfway. And inhale, center. As you come back to center now, you can release your feet to the earth. If you were using a prop, you can set it to the side. We're going to do another reclined spinal twist, but this time no flow. This time we're going to hold. So it's helpful, I find, to lift and shift the hips an inch or two, in this case to the left of midline. Then you can bring knees to your chest and take the legs to the right. So we shifted the hips so that when you twist, the spine will remain in a long straight line. So the legs are going to the right. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, let the back left ribs draw a little closer to the earth. Now, if your right hand can reach your legs, you can rest your right hand on top of the thighs. Do have at least your feet on the floor to the right, and if your knees can reach, then so be it, but I'd rather the left shoulder blade be on the ground than for the knees to be on the ground. So if the knees are a little lifted, that's okay. But let the feet be on the floor so that way you can rest into this one. We want to connect to the breath more fully. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, gently deepen your twist. Even your gaze could turn over your left shoulder. Give yourself permission to settle. We want to open to what is right here in this moment. Open to grace, as they say in the yoga world. So after those 3 breaths or so, bring your head back to center. Let the lower leg, in this case the right leg, help press the legs back up to center. Feet to the floor so that you can adjust your hips. We want to lift and shift the hips an inch or two to the right of midline now. Then bring knees closer to your chest so legs can come over to the left. And again, the whole reason for shifting the hips is so that the spine can be straight when we're in our twist. Now let the feet be on the floor. The knees may or may not be on the floor, but let the feet be on the floor. And when you inhale, lengthen through your spine. And when you exhale, let the back right ribs draw a little more towards the earth. Turn your gaze over your right shoulder. If the left hand reaches, you can rest your left hand on top of your legs. And we'll take about 3 more breaths here. Again, give yourself permission to settle. We want to open to this present moment, the simple gifts that life is offering right now. Perhaps it's sensation in the body, but hopefully it's also a flow of the breath, a gentle, effortless flow of the breath. And so once you've completed your breaths, then arms are in cactus. Use your lower leg, the left leg, to press the legs back up to center, and then we'll release the feet to the floor. All right, pause a moment, just absorb the effects of the reclined spinal twist. In Sanskrit, it's called Jatara Parivartanasana. And then we'll do one more thing in the reclined position. Your strap will be helpful for this one. We're going to do reclined big toe pose. So if you have a strap or a tie or an old belt, something like that, what we'll do is wrap it around the mounds of the toes of the right foot, and we'll take right leg up in the air. Now, if you don't have a strap, you could also just use your hands. Hands would hold the leg. So know that you have options. If you do have a strap, hopefully it's long enough that you can slide your hands down the strap so elbows are on the floor. Then you would bring the shoulder blades onto the back a little more. Then keep a curve in the lower back, the lumbar spine, but take the lower leg out straight along your sticky mat. So recline big toe pose version 1, Supta Padangusthasana version 1. We'll stay here for just a couple more breaths, a few more breaths. And let gravity help the right thigh bone to sink in towards the right hip. So in many ways, we're just allowing what is to be. We're opening to the experience in this moment without trying to force anything, without trying to change anything. And quite often as we hold and we breathe, things start to open on their own. All right, let's hold both ends of the strap now in just the right hand. Take your left arm out to the left along the earth, and then we'll take the right leg out to the right. So this is version 2 of reclined big toe. We're not twisting yet. The right leg comes out to the right. I've got a wall in the way. I can scoot my body over. So right leg will come out to the right a little more. And just a few deep breaths here. And then with your inhale, we'll lift the leg back up to center. And now version 3 of reclined big toes. So hold your strap or hold your leg with your other arm. Take the right arm out to the right along the ground and cross your right leg over your body. So the hips will stack. This is a bit of a twist. Inhale and lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, shift the ribs and even your shoulder and your head to the right. So right leg is crossed over the body to the left, but ribs and shoulder and head are turning to the right. Inhale fully, exhale fully, and just allow the twist to do its job. We want to create space through the spine and in the hip and maybe even in the outer thigh, the IT band. You might feel a big stretch there. Settle into that sensation of the stretch. All right, with another inhale, we'll bring the leg back to center. Pause a moment to just notice any newfound openness around the hip or the hamstrings. And then you can remove your strap, lengthen through the foot to lower the leg all the way to the earth. Pause again and notice the difference in one side compared to the other side. Okay, and then we'll be ready for side 2. You can begin with both legs bent and wrap your strap around the left foot, or otherwise just hold the left leg with your hands. If you do have a strap, slide hands down until the elbows come to the earth right next to your side ribs. That way the shoulder blades can firm onto the back a little bit more. So not only do we have length in the hamstrings, but we have openness in the upper chest because the shoulder blades are on the back. Now, meanwhile, take the lower leg out straight along the ground if it's not already. And several more breaths here. Version 1 of reclined big toe. Let gravity help the left thigh bone sink in towards the hip socket. Make sure your lower leg is nice and straight. The lower thigh bone heavy against the earth. And then we'll be ready for version 2. Hold both ends of the strap in the left hand, or just hold your leg with your left hand. Right arm out to the right, and left leg opens to the left. Version 2 of reclined big toe pose. So what can happen here is the opposite hip will want to lift up off the ground. Resist that. In this case, the right hip, we want it to drop down towards the earth, and it'll be a more efficient opening with the left leg when the right leg stays grounded. So in order to experience some opening, we need some part of the body to remain stable. In this case, it's the right hip and really the whole right side of your body. The left leg can extend out from the stability of the right side. Inhale, leg rises back up to center. Switch your grip, hold strap or leg in the other hand, and then cross your leg over your body. So as the left leg extends over the body, breathe in and lengthen through the whole spine. Breathe out and then shift the ribs and the shoulder and even your gaze over to the left. Breathe in fully, breathe out fully. We'll hold for just a couple more breaths, allowing opening. We don't have to push, we don't have to force. Just be present to the sensation and welcome the opening with each breath. Version 3 of reclined big toe pose, Supta Padangusthasana 3. With another inhale now, we'll lift the leg back to center. We'll go back to version 1. Pause for a moment back at version 1 and just notice any newfound space around the hip or through the hamstrings. And then release the strap, lengthen through the left leg to lower it all the way down to the earth. Pause and breathe and enjoy. And we'll do one more variation of this reclined big toe pose. We'll do a variation to help warm up the core a little more. So let's go back to the first side. Wrap the strap around the right foot. Take the right leg up in the air. Take the left leg straight along the earth. And just like before, we want the upper arm bones on the ground right next to the side ribs as much as that's possible. All right, so now slowly lift the left leg up to meet the right leg. So your body's an L pose, it's in an L shape. Now it's just the left leg that's gonna flow with the breath. Inhale here. When you exhale, lower the left leg to 1 inch above the ground, and then inhale, lift it back up again. And we'll do that a few times. Exhale to lower the leg, and inhale to lift it. If this is too much on your back, bend the left leg. Exhale, lower the foot to just 1 inch above the ground, and inhale, lift again. So that would be a modification to bend the left leg and lift it. If there's no strain in the lower back, keep the left leg straight as you exhale to lower, inhale to lift, and we'll do 2 more like that. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift, exhale to lower, inhale to lift. All right, now as you exhale, lower the left leg. It can come all the way to the earth. Remove the strap, lengthen through the right leg to lower it to the earth as well. So if there's any strain around the front groin or the front of the thigh, take the heels wider and flop the toes in and out a few times. That'll help relax it. Okay, and then we'll be ready for side 2. Back to your reclined mountain pose, but then we'll take the left leg up in the air for reclined big toe, version 1, but then we'll add the flow. So again, shoulder blades flat on the back, that way the breathing space is free and open. Lift the right leg up for L pose. You can inhale here, and as you exhale, lower the right leg to 1 inch above the ground, and inhale, lift it up. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift, and keep going just like that. And remember, if there's strain in the back, bend the right leg. Exhale, lower the right foot to 1 inch above the ground, and inhale, lift. So that would be the modification. Just a few more times. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Pressing out through the big toes the whole time. Let's do one more. We'll exhale to lower, inhale to lift. And now as you exhale, lower and bring the right leg all the way to the earth. Remove the strap, press out through the left foot to lower the left leg as well. And heels a little wider, you can roll the toes in and out a bit just to relax the legs and the lower body. All right, and then you can bend both legs, and we're going to roll to one side so that you can use your arms to support you to press your way back up. And we're going to take staff pose next. So lift the sitting bones up on a folded blanket or two, or maybe a pillow or something, because when sitting bones are a little more lifted, we're more likely to have natural curves in the spine. And when we have natural curves in the spine, the breath flows much more freely. That flow of prana can sink deeper into the body. So in staff pose, hands are by your sides. Press fingertips into the earth so collarbones lift. Relax the shoulder blades down your back. And legs are active too. We're pressing heels into the ground with the backs of the knees nice and soft. So when the legs are active, the spine is more likely to lengthen. Let's interlace fingers in front of you. We'll turn the palms out and extend the arms out in front. Now, even though arms are extended, the arm bones are still plugging in a bit. They're drawing back so shoulder blades can draw down. Now slowly lift your arms to your capacity. So it's a bit of a shoulder stretch here. The arms may or may not come all the way up towards your ears. We just want to lift to where you feel sensation but not strain. Notice how even the abdomen has to engage here. Let the chin be level with the earth rather than rounding in. We want to sit up nice and tall. And one more breath here. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, you can release your arms and lower them down. And we'll shake out the arms a little bit. All right. Bend your right leg and we'll do a seated spinal twist. You can hold the shin with the hands. And as you squeeze the shin in, the spine grows taller still. Inhale, reach the right arm up in the air, and as you exhale, twist right. Let the back right ribs draw back a little more. With the left hand for now, let's just hold the knee, and the elbows can be bent. As you twist, draw the elbows further apart from each other. So the left elbow moves to the left, the right elbow moves to the right, and that can get the breathing space a little more open as well. Gaze could be over your right shoulder. And then to come back, we'll inhale the right arm up, exhale to untwist. Good, take the right leg out straight. And then we'll bend the left leg in. So same thing on side two. Begin by just holding the shin and let that little squeeze help the spine grow taller. Shoulder blades rest down the back. As you inhale, reach the left arm up, and as you exhale, twist left. So left hand is on the earth or maybe a block where it can provide some support, and have both elbows slightly bent and draw both elbows apart from each other so that the upper breathing space can be a little more expansive. Your gaze will be over your left shoulder as long as there's no strain in the neck that way. If there is any strain, let your gaze be in the same direction as your heart. Okay, and then to come out, we'll inhale the left arm up, exhale, untwist, and stretch the leg. Great. Now, bend both legs, and we'll take bound angle posture, Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide. And as you bring soles of the feet together, have your hands by your sides. We're going to create a subtle internal rotation with the thigh bones by lifting the hips up and tipping the pelvis slightly forward. It's an anterior tilt of the pelvis. Then when you come back down, you should feel as though you're sitting right up tall on the sitting bones, and it's going to help the spine lengthen. Keep hands by your sides as the big toe mounts press towards each other, and then slowly you can start to hinge from the hips or not. It depends on your body. Perhaps just remaining more upright is where you want to be today, and that's fine. Either way, whether torso is upright or whether it's coming a little more forward, for the moment, we'll keep hands by your sides. And imagine from the center of the pelvis, you're lengthening out through the knees. We're not trying to push the knees down, we're trying to lengthen out. And just a few more breaths here. Enjoy the breath. Notice the gentle expansion on the inhale and the release of tightness on the exhale. Chin is away from your chest at this point. Sometimes we talk about holding an orange or a big grapefruit between your chin and your chest. If the chin's too far in, we're making juice. We don't want the juice. If the chin's too far out, you're going to lose the fruit. So you got to keep it right in the middle there. Now, if you can keep spine long and the legs active, bring hands to ankles, or maybe your body allows you to interlace fingers around your toes. And we'll hold for 3 more breaths. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, gently soften into the sensation. We open to the simple gifts that this moment has to offer. A sense of spaciousness, a sense of tension dissolving, physical tension dissolving, even mental tension. Okay, that's probably at least 3 breaths at this point. You can inhale, lift the torso. Hands can come under the knees to bring the legs a little more towards each other. We're actually just going to scoot the feet a little more forward for Omega pose. So it's very much like bound angle posture, but there's a bigger gap between your torso and your feet. Take the feet further away. We still want big toe mounts pressing towards each other, and we'll begin with hands by your sides again. Press fingertips down into the earth by your hips. Lengthen up through the spine. And then let your heart lead the way. We want to hinge from the hip creases as the heart extends forward. Head in line with your spine, so the back of your neck just as long and open as the front of your neck. And if you continue to press the big toe mounts towards each other, you might notice sensation in a slightly different place in the hips. Breathe with the sensation. Let your exhale help tightness to dissolve. And then keeping sitting bones grounded, keeping big toe mounts pressing towards each other, you could bring hands to shins or ankles, wherever they'll reach. Maybe a few of us could interlace fingers around the toes. Steady breath in, steady breath out. And notice how the longer you hold, allowing the breath to be free and effortless, the more sense of opening we experience. One more big breath here. And then press the feet together, bring hands by your sides, and rise up. Okay, hands under knees, we'll bring legs together. Then we're going to take the legs out straight to your sides. It's called the wide angle stretch, or Upavista Konasana in Sanskrit. So we want heels to have cushion too. If you need to turn to the side so you're facing the long side of your mat, that's fine. Legs wide, arms by your sides. Press fingertips down, lift the collarbones up. Press the heels down so the back of the knees soften. And then imagine that you have a big beach ball between your shins, and so you want to try to squeeze the beach ball with the shins. See how that engages through the hips and through the core a little. Your torso might even grow a little taller. So continue to breathe right here. We're trying to bring curve in the lumbar spine. So if the spine is rounding, then work the legs a little more. Press the heels down, energetically draw the shins in to help the torso grow taller. Now, there may be a few of us who already have the curve in the spine. Then you could go a little deeper by hinging forward from the hips. But honor where you are today. So we have to keep the legs nice and active no matter which version you're in. And we're going to keep the hands by the sides because that makes the legs work a little bit more. Chin away from your chest. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Well done. And then use the strength of the legs. Press the heels down. Energetically squeeze the feet towards each other as you rise back up. All right. Hands under knees to support your legs as you bring them back in. Let's come to table. We'll take all fours now. So slowly, like the plants in springtime, we started from the earth and we're starting to grow a little bit taller and a little bit taller. In your table position, we'll do a few cat and cow tilts. So you can exhale and round the back body up towards the sky. Inhale, draw the belly down and chest forward and gaze forward. So exhale, cat tilt. Inhale, cow tilt. And keep going a few more times. Letting your pace of breath guide your movement. Now, we'll get a little playful with it. We're going to add the side-to-side direction. So the next time you exhale and round up for cat, take your right ribs to the right to come down for cow, and then left ribs to the left to come up for cat again. So the middle portion of the torso is drawing a great big circle. And that way the sides of the body get to open a bit more. And there's no right or wrong here. Just do your best with the movement to awaken the whole spine. And the next time you find yourself in cat tilt, switch direction. Left ribs to the left to come down. Right ribs to the right to rise up. Just when you're getting comfortable with one direction, we switch it up. Okay, so the next time you find yourself in cat tilt, pause there. Back body rises towards the sky. Press the earth away from you to make more space between your shoulder blades. And then we'll come back just to a neutral spine. Bring your right foot forward now in between your hands for lunge pose. We're going to lift the back leg and make it nice and straight. Generally, blocks can be helpful here. So hands would be up on blocks. That way the torso can lift a little away from the front thigh. There's a little more space rather than collapsing down. Spread the toes wide. Make sure that your hands are framing your foot. We want the hands to either side of the foot as opposed to forward of the foot. The longer we hold, the more we bring strength into the legs. So now we're going to release it to switch sides. Lower the back knee, take the front foot back, and bring the left foot forward. Place the left foot directly in between your hands, and then make the back leg straight. Press the back heel back as though you're pressing it into an imaginary wall, and let that help the spine grow longer. Inhale fully, exhale fully, and have your head in line with your spine. I see some folks dropping their head down. Resist that. Have your chin away from your chest. Good. We'll release the leg. We're going to go back to the first side. So bring your left foot back, bring the right foot forward. Lunge pose again. Now as you press your back heel back, draw the outer right hip back towards the back foot also. And as the right hip draws back, then you can reach your right arm forward. All right, flying lunge, but arm forward. Now as long as you feel steady here, you can reach your left arm forward as well. So making space through the whole body, opening into the moment. If you need more stability, the left hand could stay on your block or earth, whatever it's on. Okay, we're going to release both arms and then lower the back knee and switch legs. Right leg back, left foot forward. Same thing for side two. Make the back leg straight, press the back foot into an imaginary wall, and then outer left hip draws back towards the back foot as well. So as the hip draws back, then reach the left arm forward, and maybe this is as far as you want to go. Got a little more stability because right arm is on the block or ground, whatever it's on. For more challenge, both arms reach out. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Now if there's strain in the shoulders, you could do more like a cactus type position here. Really just taking hands wider would be helpful in that case too, probably. All right, we'll release both hands, lower the back knee, make your way back to table again. Back in your table position, you can do a few cat and cow tilts. Softening, relaxing through the length of the spine. And then we'll stop that movement. Hands can be a little forward of the shoulders here and toes curled under. What we'll do is exhale for cat tilt again and take sitting bones to heels, extended child's pose. With the very next inhale, come forward for table and a cow tilt, belly down, chest forward. And then exhale for downward facing dog. Lift the sitting bones back and up. Our first downward dog pose of the class. You are welcome to walk your dog a little. Bend one leg and then straighten it. Bend the other leg and straighten it. Go back and forth a few times, inviting length into the calves as well as in the hamstrings. And after a few times back and forth, then you can lower your knees, take the feet flat, and we'll have big toes together, knees a little wider. Let's do child's pose here. Sitting bones back towards the heels. With the arms outstretched, you can rest the upper body, and for a little more shoulder opening, with the arms outstretched, slightly different today, we'll rotate the palms face up. With palms face up and your head resting, that tends to open the shoulders and the upper back a little bit more. So it's an option. If that's not comfortable for you, you don't have to do it. You could stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands instead. So we'll continue like 3 more breaths in this child's pose position. Soften and open to this experience in this moment, in your extended child's pose. And then palms down, lift the torso enough to bring the thigh bones back to parallel to each other. So we want to stick with the extended child's pose position, but now legs are closer. In fact, energetically draw the thigh bones in towards midline so your whole foundation is steady. With arms outstretched, have hands on spider fingers. We're going to go for a side stretch here. Walk your arms to your left, and that way the right side body can get a little more open. If you continue to energetically pull thigh bones towards each other, that's going to create a more efficient side stretch. You could even shift your hips slightly to your right to bring even more opening into the right side of your body. All right, inhale fully, exhale fully. Then hips back to center, walk your hands through center and over to side two. Head is right in between the upper arm bones. Energetically draw legs toward each other, and at the same time shift the hips slightly to your left. And that way we make more space in the left side body. Open to the freedom of your breath. And then slowly, hips back to center, arms back to center. Rise up for table position. Curl the toes under, take a little cow tilt, so sway back up a cow. And we're going to rise up for downward facing dog pose again. Sitting bones back and up. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Plank pose, Palak Asana. Bring shoulders, heart, and head forward. Now, if you need more support in your plank, you could lower your knees and do plank with knees down. And we're going to lower the whole body down so you're lying on your belly. And then baby cobra pose. Point the heels and toes straight back. Press out through the big toes just a little bit more. Keep your belly button on the earth, and with an inhale, lift the heart. So if belly button stays on the earth, then you can sway side to side. The upper body can sway a little. And through movement, we just invite a little more opening. Back to center, release your cobra, and make your way back to table position. So we'll play with modified half moon posture. In your table, take the right leg straight back behind you, and then your bent leg foot can be a kickstand. Take the left foot to the left slightly. Then lean onto the left arm and the left leg. Right hand comes to your hip. I'll turn around so I can see. And then, as shoulder blades firm on the back, lift your leg, lift your arm. Modified half moon pose. Now, if there's strain in the lower wrist, you could bring that hand to a fist, so you're on your fingers. Inhale fully, exhale fully. And then slowly back to table position. All right, same thing, side two. From table, take your left leg straight back, toes curled under on the floor. Make a kickstand with your right foot opens to the right, then lean onto the right leg and the right arm. Firm the shoulder blades on the back, and mindfully lift the left leg. You can reach the left arm up to the sky. And likewise on this side. This is fun with a kid too, isn't it? All right. If there's strain in the left wrist, of course, you can have your hand in a fist position. We'll hold for another breath or two. And then slowly make your way back to table top. All right, in table, with toes curled under, we'll do cat tilt. You can exhale, round the back body up. Take sitting bones towards heels, extended child's pose. Inhale for table and cow tilt. And then exhale, downward dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press the earth away from you. From the back of your heart, press through the finger pads into the ground. And notice the rebound from the earth up through your sitting bones. Lengthen through the whole spine. Then we'll step the feet about mat distance apart from each other and walk your hands back to meet your feet. Standing forward bend. You always have permission to bend your knees if that reduces strain in the lower back. If there's any strain, feet wider, knees bent.
But walk your hands all the way back so body's weight is in your feet, not your arms. Yeah, good. And then as your head is heavy, draw shoulder blades toward your hips. Pause and breathe. Now stay strong through your legs. Actively press down through the feet into the earth and let the torso rise halfway up. Offer the collarbones, offer your heart forward. Then we'll deepen the forward bend and bring hands to your hips, draw elbows towards each other. With an inhale, we'll rise all the way up. You can stretch your arms way up in the air. And exhale, palms together and hands into heart center. Good. Release your arms, step the feet to a neutral distance apart. All right, we made it up to standing. So let's do tree pose in honor of the springtime and all the trees that are growing their leaves and growing tall. So if you need a wall, you can move your body to a wall. You could stand with your back facing the wall if you need a wall. If not, stand where you can stand. Right leg will be the standing leg. Lift the left heel so that way your body's weight shifts into the right leg and you can really extend your roots deep into the ground. Now turn the left knee to the left and then place your foot. Could be below the knee, could be above the knee. Yogi's choice, you get to choose where you place your foot. And then we'll start with hands at the heart. Have the elbows wide so shoulder blades draw down your back. Maintain some tone through the abdomen by softening the ribs towards the hips. And then keep the tone as you allow your branches to grow. Your arms can rise up. Now if there's strain in the shoulders, have the hands a little wider apart. If there's no strain, upper arm bones draw in toward your ears. Gaze on a spot that's not moving in front of you. And as much as you're rooting down through the standing leg, lift through the crown of your head. Let your tree grow as tall as possible. All right, and then we'll release the arms and release the leg. Relax it. And then we'll be ready for side two. Lift the right heel slightly off the earth. That way body's weight shifts into the left leg. From deep within the abdomen, plant your roots through the left leg deep into the ground. Turn the right knee out so that way the hips are a little more open. And take your time as you place your foot. Again, it could be below the knee or it could be above the knee. Yogi's choice where you place your foot today. Bring some tone through the abdomen by drawing front ribs a little more towards the hip points, but at the same time the collarbones lift. Soft gaze on a spot that's not moving. Your drishti, your focal point, and then arms can lift at your pace. And allow the arms to be straight. So if the elbows are bending, just take your hands wider until the arms are straight. And as long as there's no strain in the shoulders, upper arm bones can come in closer to the ears, but that's kind of secondary. Inhale fully, exhale fully. And then we'll release the arms and release the leg and relax. Mountain pose. Okay, so if you're not already, please turn so that you're facing the long side of your sticky mat. And we'll do warrior two pose. So you can start from mountain, and then we're going to step the legs wide and reach the arms wide. Extend the arms wide so you can eyeball it. We want ankles approximately under your wrists. And once you have the feet wide enough, bring your hands back to your hips for the moment. So back toes can angle slightly in, the left toes can angle slightly in. Turn your whole right leg out to the right 90 degrees. With the arms, we'll do like we did last week, sunrise arms. So stack your hands one on top of the other with the elbows wide, and hands are about heart height, so that way shoulder blades can settle down the back. We want the sides of the neck to be long and soft. And then keep the shoulder blades down the back. As you turn the palms out and your imaginary sun rises, arms come overhead, but elbows stay bent. That way the neck can remain relaxed. Now inhale, grow taller, and as you exhale, take the arms wide and bend your right leg. Warrior two pose. Knee over ankle, shoulders over hips, and then you can turn your gaze over the right fingertips. And then reconnect to your breath. With your inhale, we pulsate from skin into muscles, into bones, and with your exhale, get expansive from the inside out, through the bones, through the muscles, through the skin. Front leg might bend a little bit deeper, but all the while aware of that pulsation of your breath, that energetic pulsation within the body. Okay, slowly we'll straighten the leg, relax your arms. Turn your feet for side two. So right toes come slightly in and the whole left leg turns out 90 degrees. Hips are still open towards the long side of your sticky mat. And then we're going to stack the hands again for the sunrise arms. So shoulder blades down the back, neck long and soft. And let your imaginary sun rise. Turn the palms out to take them up. If elbows are still bent, ideally that's going to keep a sense of softness and relaxation around your neck and your throat and your shoulders. Inhale and grow taller, the crown of the head rises. Exhale, take your pose, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Gaze is over the left fingertips. And once in your posture, once in Virabhadrasana 2, pulsate with the breath. Your inhale is an energetic drawing in, stabilizing, steadying. And your exhale is an energetic expansion, radiating out in all directions. Down through both legs, out through the arms, up through the crown of the head. So we open to the simple gifts in life, the strength in this pose, and the openness too. All right, well, inhale, straighten the front leg, relax your arms, and you can either squiggle or just step the legs back into a neutral position. Pause a moment, breathe. You can do a few shoulder circles. That often feels good after something like Warrior 2. Now, we'll do 5-pointed star, and then we'll do triangle pose. So if you need blocks for a triangle, you can set them up to either side of your mat, just behind you. If you only have one block, you could put it on the right. We'll go to that side first. But before we take triangle, we'll do 5-pointed star. So from your mountain pose, bend the legs, step the legs wide, and the outer edge of the feet are parallel to the short side of your mat. At the same time, the arms are nice and wide. At the same time, the crown of the head is rising up. So 5-pointed star right here. And I like to do this one because when you bring awareness to your breath now, you can really be aware of that pulsation. So arms can stay wide unless it is, a strain on your shoulders. When you breathe in, imagine you're drawing in from all points to your center. So center could be middle of the pelvis here. We're breathing in and plugging in to your source. Breathe out and extend out in all directions. Outwardly, there's not really any movement at all, but internally, there's a dynamic flow of prana, of vital energy. Breathing into your source, breathing out and radiating out, nice and big, radiant like a star in the sky. Okay, awesome, good work. So we'll keep that in mind. Release your arms so shoulders get a break. If you need some shoulder circles again, you can do that. And we'll be ready for triangle. We'll turn the whole right leg out to the right. Back toes can come slightly inward. And we'll encourage space here by circling the arms forward, up, and out. That way shoulder blades drop down the back, palms face down. Inhale, grow taller still. On your exhale, hinge from your right hip. Hand could be on shin, could be on a block. Maybe one or two of us, if you're open enough, the hand could be all the way to the earth, but honor where you are. If there's strain in the upper shoulder, hand on your hip is fine. Now, when you breathe in, pulsate inward from skin to muscles to bones to your center deep within the abdomen. And when you exhale, radiate out in all directions. Press down through both legs, reach out through the crown of the head, extend through both arms, unless, of course, hand is on hip, that's also fine. And be present to that pulsation of your breath, expansive and open and free. Now stay rooted through your legs. Imagine you have a friend holding your upper arm, helping to draw you back up to standing. And then you can relax your arms and turn your feet for side two. So right toe slightly in, the whole left leg out, 90 degrees. And we'll circle again. Arms forward, up, and out to encourage as much space as possible. Shoulder blades settle down, palms face down. Inhale, rise up through the crown of the head. Exhale, hinge from your left hip. And again, hand on shin or block or earth, wherever you can reach. If there's strain in the upper shoulder, a hand on your hip is fine. Okay, so breathe in and plug in, stabilizing as we draw in toward your deeper source of strength, right deep in the abdomen. Exhale and extend out through both legs, through the crown of the head, out through both arms as well. So externally, there's probably not a lot of movement at all, but inside there's a dynamic flow of the breath, a dynamic flow of vital energy, pulsating, firming in with the inhale and radiating, expanding out with the exhale. Press down through both legs. You got a friend holding your upper arm again, helping to draw you back up with lightness. Relax your arms, squiggle or step the legs all the way in. And if you need a little shake with the legs, you can certainly do that too. Okay, well done. So let's do a wide-legged forward bend now. If you have your blocks, you could bring them to right in front of you. And then we'll bend the legs, step the legs wide, take the arms wide. Begin from the five-pointed star position. So outer edge of the feet parallel to the short side of your mat. Everything is open, but when you breathe in, plug in, firm, muscles to bones. When you breathe out, now hinge from the hips. And at the very last moment, hands come to blocks or wherever they'll reach. Wide-legged forward bend. Let your head be heavy. Head draws towards the earth, but at the same time, shoulder blades move toward your hips. So that way the neck is long and soft. There's just a little bit of engagement in the upper back to make that happen. Legs are certainly active. From the center of the abdomen, press down through the soles of the feet. And when the legs are active and strong, we can create a little more space through the upper body. Maybe the head comes a little closer to the earth. It is not a competition. It doesn't matter what your neighbor is doing. We'll hold for about 3 more breaths. Inhale fully, exhale fully. And then bend the knees, and you can squiggle, toe heel, the feet back to a neutral distance apart. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. We'll bring hands to hips, draw elbows towards each other, and with an inhale, rise all the way up. Stretch your arms way up in the air. And exhale, hands into heart center. Good. We'll bring hands back to your hips. Draw elbows towards each other. That way shoulder blades are firm on the back. And now sit back in your imaginary chair. Bend the legs, take the sitting bones way back. We want to keep knees as wide as your ankles, and you should be able to see your toes just in front of your knees. So with the legs super strong and shoulder blades on the back, we'll slide arms out to the sides in a cactus position. And you can do your chair with arms in cactus, or for a little more challenge, a little more shoulder opening, upper arm bones come by your ears. So you get to choose with the arms again, either cactus or upper arm bones by your ears. One more big breath. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Press down through the feet and inhale, rise all the way up. Grow taller still. Lift your heart up for a standing back bend. Yeah, nice and open, nice and free. And then back to neutral. Palms together, hands into heart center. Excellent. Release your arms by your sides. And as you stand in mountain pose, reconnect to your breath. Notice any newfound sense of spaciousness or openness. And by connecting to the breath, we open to the simple gifts that life has to offer in each moment. We open to grace itself, the grace of the flowers blooming and the birds singing, the sun shining, although it looks like it's a little cloudy outside my window right now. Okay, so we're going to do a little cool down with empty coat sleeves. Take the feet a little wider, and you can bend your knees a little, and then just a gentle twist. The arms kind of flow as you twist, cooling down a bit here with a kind of random movement. Empty coat sleeves. And after a few times like so, then you can come back to center, standing in mountain pose, Tadasana. What we'll do is we'll flow all the way to lying on the ground. So if you're not already, turn to face the short side of your mat, the front of your mat. And we'll inhale, float the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hips, bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, hands to your mat. Step your right foot back and step your left foot back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift the sitting bones a little higher. Inhale fully, exhale fully. And then shoulders, heart, and head come forward for plank. We'll lower the knees. We'll lower the whole body. And you can flip over so you're lying on your back for Shavasana, deep relaxation. If you need something to be warm, socks or sweatshirt or anything, you can grab that. And if you need like a cushion under your head, could be a folded blanket under your head. Grab what you need to be comfortable. And then once you take your reclined position, we'll do one last squeeze in. Draw the legs in, wrap your arms around your legs, and you can just rock a little side to side. Any last little movements or stretches that will help you be completely comfortable. And then you can stretch your legs. Have the feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And you can roll your toes, flop your toes in and out a few times to help relax the whole lower body. And then let the toes just open out to the sides and settle. Soften through the abdomen. Arms are a few inches away from the sides of your body. And traditionally, the palms face up because that helps the shoulder blades be flat on your back. So we're resting fully here. You're lying on your back in Shavasana. Connect to your breath. A steady inhale, steady exhale. Soften your jaw.
Soften your brow. And simply enjoy the pulsation of your breathing. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and healthy and free. Slowly, you can bring some movement back to your body. Begin to move through fingers, move through toes. Circle your wrists and circle your ankles. Stretch through your arms and through your legs as well. Make any small movements that would be just right for you. And then take your time as you slowly bend both legs and roll to your right side. Use both arms to support you as you make your way back up to a comfortable upright seat. And in your upright seat, you're welcome once again to have eyes closed and to connect to the natural flow of your own breath. No pushing, no forcing, just open to the experience of what is. Because it's all about the springtime, I thought it would be appropriate to have a Mary Oliver poem. I think she has several poems called Spring, but this is one of them. And here is the serpent again, dragging himself out of his nest of darkness, his cave under the black rocks, his winter death. He slides over the pine needles, he loops around the bunches of rising grass, looking for the sun. Well, who doesn't want the sun after the long winter? I step aside. He feels the air with his soft tongue. Around the bones of his body, he moves like oil. Downhill he goes, toward the black mirror of the pond. Last night, it was still so cold, I woke and went out to stand in the yard, and there was no moon. So I just stood there, inside the jaw of nothing. An owl cried in the distance. I thought of Jesus, how he crouched in the dark for 2 nights, then floated back above the horizon. There are so many stories, more beautiful than answers. I followed the snake down to the pond. Thick and musky he is, as circular as hope. We'll bring palms together, hands to your heart center. Connected to the effortless flow of your breath, the simple gifts within each moment. We'll join our voices in the universal sound of Om one time together. Can exhale to prepare and take a full breath in. The light of conscious awareness within me greets that very same light within you. Namaste. So I'll unmute everyone so we can say goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for your practice.
Thank you. Happy
That was
Easter.
wonderful.
Thank you. Have a great holiday.
Good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.